How to use BlendNote lightning round. All right, first mistake, do not use BlendNote V14. Any future or any previous versions, just do not open this project file because it will crash. See, there are just too many nodes present and the node groups are far too complicated for Blender to handle. So let's just minimize that while that has a heart attack. So basically just don't open up either of these, download them, you'll need them downloaded, just don't open them. The rest of these are okay to open though, just not the actual BlendNote files. Now, what you want to do instead of opening that file, come on, crash already, give me the little sign. You know what, keep having your tantrum in the corner. All right, cool. So instead what you want to do is file, append. You want to find your wherever you're keeping it. You want to go to, I already have an append folder set up for it because I do this so often. You open it, you go to node tree, you shift select everything and you click append. I'm not going to do that because I already have the stuff appended, but that's what you do to get your stuff working. So basically, let's give you a quick rundown. So this, if I go into shading, these are going to be all of your basic inputs, colors, and these scale and ratio things. What do they do? Well, that's what I'm going to explain. Ratio X, ratio Y is your aspect ratio X and Y for your resolution. This resolution section is actually resolution X, and that is just going to be the same resolution X value there. And that makes sure all of your pixels are perfectly square no matter what your aspect ratio or render is. And this pixel scale right here is straightforward. It just scales up and down the pixels. And all that's going to do is that's going to match up with your compositor scale. So both are set to 100 right now. You could set them both to 200, both to 50, do whatever you like. Just these two right here, don't mess with those. Those scales should stay 1 to 1. That is for the shape of your pixel. 1 to 1 is a perfect square. 1 to 2 is a 1 by 2 rectangle. You get the point. Don't mess with them unless you really want to get some funky looking shaders. Now, that's your basic inputs. Let me show you the other inputs. Other than that, you have threshold and orientation. Let me show you what that looks like. Threshold on the whatchamacallit, the gradient ones is gonna move your gradient up and down, like it just moves where the midtone is at, and orientation is gonna rotate your pattern. This right here is just a quick example. You can see it's got the same basic settings as the other one. This is just an example of how the shader can react to RGB. Because this is one of the RGB dithers. Here, let me grab that. It reacts to a blue light right there. If I can grab this red light, it'll react to the red light too. That's a white light, but you get the point. I grabbed the wrong one. And all of the gradient ones react properly to lighting too. And now let's get you to outputs. So all of them have a color and int output. The color output outputs the colors you input. Int inputs, or not inputs, outputs a numeric value that can be used in mathematical operations. In this case, I'm using them to calculate the average of two dithers to completely create a new dither, which is cool. And then here is where you put the colors. The reason why you don't use the color input is because 1, the color can change the value of the average, and 2, the color also would lag it out more. So it's nice to have it be a plain numeric value. And you can tell average dither also has another int output, which means you can average more stuff on top of that if you really wanted to create some crazy complex stuff. And hey, I'm pretty sure I covered it all.